Hello friends, how are you? If we're not friends, we should be. My name's AlJ and I'll be doing a reading for Pisces. So Pisces, when I was tapping into your energy, I was seeing a brown bear, and usually when I see those, it's the energy of needing to take a break or like get your mind right, resting, stuff like that. I think hibernation. So don't know how that relates to your reading yet because I haven't pulled your cards yet, but we're about to. So I'm going to use the regular Rider-Waite to do your spread. I just saw that the Nine of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, so perhaps you need to rest because you have been through a lot. This is the Wounded Warrior card. This is, I don't know if I could take one more thing. I might collapse right here, right now. Okay? So, yeah, if you're not resting, definitely do that. If life feels like it's beating you up right now, take a seat, get your mind right. I'm going to be using the wisdom of the oracle cards to get you any advice moving forward. So without further ado, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get into this thing, okay? All right. Thank you, angels of love, light, guidance, and protection. I ask that you please bring forth messages for the collective of Pisces, please. What is it that will touch their minds, their hearts, and their souls so that they can align for the highest good of all? Please and thank you. All right, the deck is getting hard to shuffle. That's usually a sign for me of like resistance or being stubborn or something like that. Okay, 2 cards just fell out. 1 more. There we go. That's so funny. This 4 of Swords energy is literally that energy, that brown bear energy that I was talking about. 4 of Swords comes after the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords is like pain, and 4 of Swords is the reflection that comes afterward. It is the getting your mind right. It's the it's a 4, so it's a number of stability. Stability of the mind, because it's the swords here. Okay, so some of y'all just need time to recover or rest or something like that, or to think about something at the very least. So we have the Hierophant, we have the Tower. This is probably what you're recovering from what I'm seeing here, and the Page of Swords. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. There's a lesson in this for you, Pisces, and I know nobody really likes to hear that, but this is what I'm getting. For some of you, this is something that you were committed to, right? It could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be a habit, a mindset, something like that, right? It could be your own morals, standards, values, something like that you lived your life by, right? And that caused some sort of disruption, falling apart, some sort of boom that happened in your life here, right? And you're being encouraged to look at what went wrong here. Look at the scene of the crime, right? The Tower happens when something isn't built on the right foundation. So maybe you were committing to someone you shouldn't have, or like committing to this job that you shouldn't have, or you had this mindset or this way of thinking, or I've always lived my life by these rules or something like that. And there's a need for you to look at the damage that is caused here in your life. With the Page of Swords, the Page of Swords acquires information. Page of Swords is a student, right? He learns, and he's looking right at the Tower. So it's time to look at what blew up in your life, what was unexpected, what didn't go well. Not only recover, but like learn from this. The Hierophant is also an energy of wisdom, right? So there's one thing to have knowledge, having the information, but then it's another thing to have the information and then live out in the world based on what you know. It's showing up differently, like physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things showing up differently, spiritually, showing up differently. Okay, So that's quite a bit just from looking at that. So let's see. It feels like the Page of Swords is what we need to clarify first. So probably looks like I'm gonna go from right to left. So let's look at the Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here? I just heard control issues, just heard ego. I'm getting like a domineering, pushy, something like that. Okay. All right, why is the Page of Swords here for Pisces, please? I'm hearing heavy-handed. Okay. There it is, all three cards. So we have the Queen of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Sun. Okay, so this is all clarifying that observer, student energy that I showed you here. And what this is telling me is that this is whatever it is, the information that you need to take in, whatever it is that you need to observe or something that you need to take information from here is giving you the ability to move forward more heart-centered, right? Following your heart, being more compassionate, whether for yourself or for other people or maybe both. It's either embodying that or needing more of that in your life is what I'm getting. With the looking at this tower is going to teach you what you need to do, how you need to show up, the practical steps that you need to take to get to your desired goal, the momentum that you need to have to get to what happiness, joy, freedom, clarity, all of those things look like to you. So whether it's that you need to be more nurturing or that you need to be nurtured, this whatever that fell apart is teaching you how to get closer to what feels good and what's successful here, okay? I just heard make better choices. All right, so getting a lot of clairaudient messages today. All right, so why is the tower here, please, for Pisces? Why is the tower here for Pisces, please? Okay. Oh. All right, one more, please. Okay. We have the Strength card. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and Temperance. This is interesting because I'm getting the energy of like some of you owe somebody an apology or something like that. I'm seeing two, or you could be the one owed an apology. You guys know how this works, but I'm seeing Temperance here, right? Because this is all clarifying this tower, right? I'm seeing Temperance here, which is like healing and rebalancing and moderation and everything is cool. And, you know, did I say healing? I meant to if I didn't. And I'm seeing two people, two individuals here, one who's holding back and one who needs to give an apology or express some sort of love or compassion or something like that so that there can be healing done to a situation. And that's going to require discipline, strength, right? Will, using your personal power. So that's one thing I'm getting. The other thing I'm getting here is an acknowledgement here of trying to give love and compassion to a situation that isn't ready to receive it, a person, a job, a project, or something like that. You're coming with love, this person isn't ready to receive it, right? And that's why the temperance energy is here, because temperance is moderation, like I said. So for some of you, the strength, the thing that takes will, that takes dedication, that takes strength and personal power, is more of an energy of restraint. Instead of like moving out, it's like I'm keeping what I have to myself. Okay? Which is interesting because that's one and the same if this is your situation, right? It's different sides of the coin. Okay? So let's look at the Hierophant. Why is the Hierophant here for Pisces, please? The Chariot fell out again. I'm shuffling these cards. All right. Whoa. One more, please. Yeah, okay. So we have the Devil here at the bottom of the deck. We have the Chariot, 9 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles. So the Chariot is things that keep you stuck, that keep you bound, that keep you small. These could be toxic situations. It could be mindsets. It's restricting. It keeps you from progressing. It keeps you from growing here, right? I'm getting that there's a lesson here about understanding what you bring to a situation and how you need to navigate if it's not providing you enough of something. So I'm seeing that the Tower was due to a commitment to something that was not giving enough of time, attention, money, resources, whatever, right? It felt very restricting, and they're telling you here to know that you don't have to deal with situations like that. And yeah, to know that you have everything that you need right there by yourself, and to move forward in a direction that is more expansive. Now, it's interesting because I'm getting that story about, remember I was getting the 2 stories, the different sides of the same coin. If you are in the camp that was too heavy-handed, too domineering, like pushy, that's the energy that is keeping you, that's what you're committed to, that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you from progressing, and it's because of a feeling of lack within yourself, and there's a need for you to address that so that you can move forward in a more empowered way, right, with some wisdom under your belt. Okay, so whatever your story is, I'm getting that there's a need to look at a situation that went awry and to figure out, extract the lessons from that. And it's about, for most of you, moderation. It's about, am I giving to something that can give back to me, or am I giving enough to something? Okay? Yeah, and then I break the deck and we have the King of Pentacles, which is literally the energy of creating safety, security, stability, abundance. Like he's gonna handle it. He's gonna make sure that you're comfortable. All right. So let's look at the wisdom of the Oracle cards here. And see what advice we have for you. Thank you, angels of love, light, guidance, and protection. I ask you, please bring forth messages for the collective of Pisces, please. Please bring forth advice that will touch their minds, their hearts, their souls, and help them align for the highest good. Anything that they can take with them and help them, please. Thank you. Amen. All right, for Pisces, please. Oh, okay, there we go. Chaos and conflict and blessed. All right, I'm gonna read both of these to you. This is pretty much touching on needing to understand this tower energy, and blessed is there's a lesson out of this situation that you can apply moving forward so that you can bring more into your life. That's what I'm getting intuitively, but I'm going to read these cards to you. All right, so we'll start with blessed. 22. All right, blessed. Essential meanings. Something wonderful is unearned and unexpected. Grace that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. The Oracle's message. There are moments in life when, out of the blue, it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now. Relationship message. You are moving towards a deepening of intimacy and a unique and sacred partnership. You know that you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. Prosperity message. Unexpected windfalls and good fortune come your way now. You're in a phase where any difficulties or obstacles that have stymied, I don't know if that's how you say that word, S-T-Y-M-I-E-D. Your success seem to disappear on their own. Be ready to receive. The windows of opportunity will open wide. Accept the blessings given to you now and don't forget to share them. Protection message. Humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you have hit rock bottom, and what is required now is nothing less than total surrender. Then you will be blessed. Yeah. So I keep getting this recurring theme of blessings, but I'm getting that it doesn't come without understanding the mess that happened here in your life, okay? Chaos and conflict. So if you're not doing that work, y'all, I'm getting like, it's not about, oh, this happened to me, let me just move on with my life. It's about, okay, let me dissect what happened here. How did I show up? How did this person show up? You know, what triggered me? What triggered them? You know, what was my capacity at the time? What were they telling me? Right? It's dissecting it like that. That's what I'm getting. Okay. So let's look at chaos and conflict. 33. Chaos and conflict. Essential meanings. Disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. The Oracle's message. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scatter to the winds, you leave behind parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward, causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. Acquire that information, right? Also, they were touching on, like, I kept saying something like two sides of the same coin or something like that. They touched on that. Relationship message. Stubbornness is keeping you Remember, I was picking up on that. I was picking up on stubbornness. I was picking up on domineering, controlling, something like that. Stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. That's that that Hierophant energy. That's your moral standards and values that I was talking about. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before if you use this time constructively. Prosperity message. Circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that is happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find the real path to your prosperity. Yes, it's a stormy time and it feels as if there are opposing forces wherever you turn. Be assured that there is divine purpose in this chaos. Everything that doesn't work is being taken from you, so the truest parts of yourself remain. The events occurring now are essential for your ultimate prosperity. This chaos is divinely inspired, even though it doesn't appear to be that way now. In time, you will know this to be true. Protection message. This is an advantageous moment to restore order and recognize the opportunity for a negotiation. Even in the seeming chaos, there is a kind divine order, a complete resorting of elements. This is powerful. If your intention is to find the best solution for the highest good of all, there's positive news. The timing is perfect. Things are already stirred up, so don't be afraid to jump into the mix. You'll discover everything you need to know about how this situation affects you long term. Be present in the eye of the chaos. This moment is valuable. Don't waste it. AKA, learn from the stuff that's going down in your life and use it as an opportunity to build your newfound stability. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps me as a creator, helps people who don't know I exist find these readings and get the help that they need, and we can build community like that. If you want a personal reading, please make sure to go into the link in my description box for those. And I'm wishing you the best. Give yourself time, forgive yourself for any wrongdoings, forgive other people for their wrongdoings, right? If there's something that you can do to fix the situation, do it. If not, take that lesson and just do better moving forward, okay? I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later, okay?